If you ask some residents these days, this is pretty much New Jersey's unofficial state song. From Paterson to Hackensack, South Orange, and Camden, housing, a whole lot of it is going up. Historically, development in a community is seen as a good thing, especially when it comes to the jobs, the foot traffic, and the upgrades it brings into the area. But for some residents, seeing the rising condos change the landscape of their neighborhood, only one thing comes to mind, and that's gentrification.
Individuals are finding New Jersey, often called the big suburb, a viable way to maintain their proximity to the major metropolitan markets.
Hoboken and Jersey City know all about it, having seen significant growth in the past 3 decades. But it appears developers have set their sights on hubs like Bergen, Essex, and Passaic counties in recent years.
The city is strategically poised for this type of growth.
Brian Hakimian runs a family-owned and operated real estate management and development company and is also chairman of the Main Street Business Alliance, which has played a significant role in revitalizing the downtown sector of Hackensack. The dramatic changes to this city, which has been described in the past as a retail ghost town, should not worry longtime residents. He says it should excite them.
Home values will increase because this becomes a destination. The downtown becomes vibrant. As restaurants come, as nightlife starts to grow.
It's going to increase values of homes. When the downtown's a great downtown, people are going to want to live here. I mean, that's why everybody goes to Ridgewood. That's why everybody likes Inglewood.
And while luxury isn't a term most locals would use to describe the area, it's a buzzword used in many advertisements downtown about new housing. According to James Williams, Director of Racial Justice Policy for the Fair Share Housing Center, it's all part of the business model.
And I know that they're not marketing to, historical members of that community. They're trying to get others to come and live there.
In Paterson, development there is focused on making what is old new again. In addition to a $94 million project that will restore Hinchliffe Stadium, the city is on what officials described as an unbridled path to restore and repurpose structures from its industrial past, bringing affordable housing to the area. As many as 200 new rental units housed in former manufacturing mills.
We've taken all of the kind of derelict land in the city and turn it into productive public use. And this public use is going to be for kids, it's going to be for families, for entire neighborhoods.
One of those projects, the Grateful Lofts, situated right near the city's pride and joy. When it's complete, the development hopes to attract those who live and work in Paterson. The city's working closely with the developer Proceda Funding to keep the community involved in the process. Paterson resident Ashley Brito was brought on board to the development team.
This just gives me hope for the future. I'm not just doing it for today, but for future generations to come.
And in the state's largest city, Newark, its growth and development has become a double-edged sword. A recent report from Rutgers uncovered that corporations have been swooping into the city in recent years, buying up 1 to 4 unit homes and then converting them into rentals, a practice described as legal but shady. The trend not only influences rent in those neighborhoods, but it also puts the squeeze on residents looking to become homeowners. As officials move to crack down on such practices, it's also welcoming development groups that put the community first. A housing complex now under construction is a collaboration with a development company founded by Newark native Queen Latifah. Her goal is simple.
I want to make sure that there's an opportunity for people who grew up and live in this area are able to stay in their communities, give to their communities, and yet live in even better places.
The rapper is a shining example, housing advocates say, of how effective community outreach looks when tackling the statewide housing crisis.
Capitalism drives a lot of these projects, and the reason why we don't see a more intentional focus on creating projects like this is because she's not going to make a windfall of money.
I'm Andrew Ramos, Pix 11 News.